In Iraq and how the United States is reacting. The U.S. says George H.W. Bush is now moving into the Persian Gulf. The ship, along with its air and missile power, gives President Obama flexibility to act in Iraq's civil strife, although he has ruled out sending ground troops into combat. Also tonight, Iraq's leader has ordered his troops to take a stand against advancing Sunni militants. For Oakland Congresswoman Barbara Lee, the notice of a U.S. warship and missiles heading closer to Iraq sounds like the same decision made years ago that she said was a mistake. KTVU's Deborah Villalone talked with the Congresswoman tonight and joins us now from the newsroom with more. Deborah.
Well, Iraq was supposed to be able to run its own affairs and protect itself by now, but as we see, that's splintering. No surprise to the Congresswoman who opposed U.S. involvement from the start.
Don't want history to repeat itself.
East Bay Congresswoman Barbara Lee watches as Sunni militants gain ground, advancing on Baghdad. Majority Shiites flock to fight back, urged by their religious leader, while government troops in some places run away rather than to defense. She thinks back a dozen years to her no vote on the Iraq War and her warning it would destabilize the region.
Once you bomb and once you invade a country and engage in military strikes, you don't know what follows. The unintended consequences could be very dire.
This should be a wake-up call.
President Obama wants Iraq's leaders to take charge, says he won't send U.S. troops in, but will explore airstrikes on the al-Qaeda splinter group.
I don't rule out anything because we do have a stake in making sure that these jihadists are not getting a permanent foothold.
There's no military solution in Iraq. We see that.
Lee opposes even the warships steaming into position because she believes only a diplomatic approach, a political settlement, can work.
The American people are war-weary. They're war-weary, and there have got to be alternatives and solutions to this without making matters worse.
White House critics say the transition was bungled by not leaving more U.S. forces in place longer.
I predicted that this would happen when they decided not to have a residual force, and anybody tells you they couldn't isn't telling the truth.
But Lee, tonight speaking to women who aspire to elective office like hers, argues the strife in Iraq is ethnic and religious and ancient and would ignite no matter when the U.S. left.
Our troops could stay there for the next 50 years. And time they leave, this would happen. So there's no sense in having a...
And the Congresswoman adds she will push for open congressional debate of any new use of force in this latest crisis in Iraq. From the newsroom, Deborah Villalone, KTVU, Channel 2 News.